Okay, here is the update for the E-Flite Convergence. My E-Flite Convergence that, to this day, I don't know if I had a brownout. I'll go over the story real quick. First time I flew it in plane mode, I went from, I took off, went into plane mode, turned off AS3X safe mode, so I could fly, because I noticed with safe mode you really couldn't get a lot of performance out of the plane, and I know how to fly. And then when I went back to multi-rotor mode, it transitioned, and then it started getting really squirrely, and I hit AS3X. As soon as I hit the switch to go back into AS3X safe mode, it went nose down, and you can look at the past video. It broke the entire nose section off. It broke this right wing. It was pretty bad. But if you ever wreck your Convergence, I will just say, moving the electronics is very, very simple. Basically, you start out with, I started out with the rear motor and propeller. This white piece holds the shaft that this motor's on, and there's 3 screws. So all you do is unhook the brushless connections, take it off one, and put it in the other. Airframes. When it comes to the motors and the servos and everything, all you do is take the back off. The servo is held in place. You just move everything in, and then you have these little parts right here that you have to glue in place. What they are is they allow all the wires, instead of having to fish them through, you can just lay them down, and then up under here would be your flight controller and your receiver, whatever receiver you choose to have. And then for the servos, you have to pry the old ones out. You're going to end up damaging the other airframe. But I got mine out, and I used Hobby hot glue. It's such a tight fit that, yeah, you want glue for a permanent fit, but it was very, very tight. Other than that, moving all the electronics over was just, there was nothing to it. Just unplug, physically move things, and plug it back in. You don't even have to unscrew these from the mounts, because the mounts that they're on, it comes out as a whole piece. If you get a new airframe, it does come with extra links. The motor links for the servo. I haven't put the aluminum parts on yet. And also, it does come with new Elevon links. Doesn't come with new servo horns. It does not come with that. It's basically a brand new airframe, just no electronics on it. I run this, so I leave it in there. I just moved everything over, and that's all there is to it. My AR610 receiver, I've flown it. I haven't had a single problem. Now, Randall Houston tried calling me out, saying that I was giving bad advice because I told someone to pre-order one. Okay, he states that he has had 8 people come to him with the same problem he has. And he even went as far as saying there's probably more people that have had this problem. They just don't take videos of it. Well, I have scoured YouTube, and I have only found one video. His. So, I firmly believe he had a bad one. He ended up getting, the X4. I can't remember who makes it off the top of my head. Damn. I can't think of it off the top of my head, but it's very much like an Osprey, but it has 2 wings. One in the front, one in the back, and then it has the motor pods that tilt on the very outside of the wings. The whole assembly tilts. It's slower, not as acrobatic as this. This is just The one thing I really love about this is you can fly it like a plane around your neighborhood. You can give it some forward stick. Let me get my transmitter and I'll sort of show how you can fly it as a plane, even in multi-rotor mode. This is the radio I use. I've noticed that the new DX7s, they have a fixed antenna. But this is one of the newest ones. It has the newest firmware. I wish I didn't do that because, oh no, it does connect to orange receivers. See, Randall Houston says it was a brownout. He has no evidence to suggest that, because even when he picked it up, there was, he said, I asked him, did you try to move it and see if the stability control was still AS3X? Was it still operating? He said, no electricity at all, and he unhooked his battery. Well, that to me shows an electrical failure, not a brownout. But no one can be for sure because it was in the air when it happened. So it basically ended up breaking. I don't know how much broke, but I know a couple of his links broke. They're back ordered right now. The plane, they got more in on the 27th, but I even talked to, when I had this whole problem, I talked to about 3 different people at Horizon Hobby. Because at first, I was told I was getting a new airframe, and then I look on the invoice and it says Convergence VTOL. So I was thinking I was going to get a brand new plane. Well, I didn't get a brand new plane. I just got an airframe, which I'm very happy with. If you do crash it, it is very easy to move things over as long as you don't damage your electronics. I'm going to be going with some better servos, definitely, all around. I really didn't cement in the Elevon servos all that much. But the way I was talking about being able to fly it is you can give it forward thrust, and forward, and the motors will tilt forward, and that speed will actually cause it to lift up some because the wing will start creating lift. You can get to about 25 miles an hour. I have finally flown in plane mode, but I didn't record it. I wanted to make sure everything was fine. In plane mode, it is insane. If you go to nose up, not only do the elevons go up like this, but the motors will go from this position to up a little to give it more up. If you try to point the nose down, the elevons will go down, and so will the motors. The motors will actually point down. When you do a roll, one motor will point up, one motor will point down. So, like this would be up, and that would be down, and it would do a roll, and the motors would actually make it roll very fast. It has a very fast roll rate. I believe that's what it's called. I'm still learning the lingo. I have decals coming today, I believe. Decals aren't going on here. This is getting a Blue Angel paint. It's going to have... I've already got the spray paint. It's basically a primer that you put on this foam that you can put regular spray paint down on. And I'm doing a Blue Angel theme. It's going to have the gold from here, like a diamond, and go all the way back to about right here. Going to have the gold tips all the way around. Going to have U.S. Navy on. I'm going to try my best to put U.S. Navy on each side. I'll get some stencils or something, or I may just leave it normal. I've never painted a plane, especially a foam plane. I've never painted anything foam. So I'll use the other airframe, the broken airframe first, to make sure everything's okay, and that make sure that primer doesn't eat through the foam, because and this airframe is $120. I've seen some people that attached the rudders that all they do is give stability. I've seen some people that mount them like this, and others that you can mount them so they're leaning inwards. But I think that would create too much turbulence for this. But I mean, it's just as agile as it was, and I absolutely adore this plane. This is what got me back up in the sky. I had traded my Delta Ray for a helicopter, and I regret it now. I wish I still had it, especially with all the work I did to it. I actually still have 2 more Extreme 180 motors. I can't remember who makes them, but it has replaceable brushes. But it was a very easy swap. It took me an hour. That's it. I broke one of these. I was being a little fast. And I was very careful when I first went to fly it. I made sure I just got off the ground a little bit to make sure everything was working right, because I didn't want to take it 20 feet and then, holy crap, there's another problem and I'll have another broke plane. The capacitor's in here. It's up under this. It's one from Hobby King. I don't have a picture or anything, but I put the receiver capacitor, so even if there is an electronics problem, such as a brownout, I have the part in here to fix it. But this is what it looks like. Except for having these on, you have to install these with 2 screws. And you also have to make it easier, you take the propellers off, and they're labeled right and left, so that's not really that big of a deal. And they spin outwards, which is sort of different, because most, what I remember, they actually spin inwards from my other plane, my Delta Ray. The top of the propeller actually spun inwards towards the fuselage. Like the right wing, I mean, if you're looking at it like this motor would spin this way, this motor would spin this way. But it's backwards on this. So I guess that's just how it works better with this. No damage with this one. I'm actually catching it instead of letting it hit the ground, because I noticed that this would get scratched up, and it's really easy to catch it. Just hold, you have to be a little bit careful when you do it, but when you first take off, it always has some forward, it's always going to drift forward, but it's a plane, it's meant to do that. I even talked to the guys at Horizon Hobby. It's not meant to be flown like a multi-rotor. That's meant to get it up off the ground and for you to be able to take off without having to have a runway. Ingenious idea, and I love the fact that I'm very sorry for people who have pre-ordered and still don't have one, but I got very lucky and I saw one at my local hobby store. I didn't get it that day because I hadn't been paid yet, but I had a little bit of money. I ended up going to Best Buy and getting a Parrot Swing. And then later on that night, I talked to my fiance and told her what I found. And she knew that I really wanted one, and she said, okay, if you return the Parrot Swing, you can get it. Anybody that's in this hobby, especially as deep in as I am with 27 vehicles, and I've been in the hobby since February 1st of 2013. That's when I got my very first Phantom. On July 17th, 2015 is when I got not my first. First I had a Hellion Dominus that I put in a Castle Sidewinder brushless setups, a short course truck, 1800 kV, could only take 2S because it was a heavy truck, not really heavy, but it's what really sparked my interest with on-road cars, and now I'm up to 26 or 27, and that's since July 17th of 2015. It's just, at the moment, the only vehicles I'm really looking at are the Losi 6 the Sin Reaper, and the Losi Rock Racer. They're basically taking the Baja Ray and they put a different body on it. I love Losi. Losi is a lot better. I really don't like saying this, but Traxxas, they don't support their products. If Traxxas would support their products, I would like them a lot more. I like their vehicles. I have a T-Max, a Revo, both Nitros, a T-Max, a Revo 3.3, a Revo roller that I'm converting to electric with a Tekin RS8 Gen 2, and I believe it's a 2050 kV motor, so capable of 6S, but I'm only going to run about 4 or 5S because I know the diffs are weak. Probably out max will be 5S. The Traxxas funny car is a blast. Once you get it dialed in and a nice gearing setup on it, it's very fast. My newest, which today I have a part coming for it so I can start it. It's the first time I've had a vehicle with this, but an HPI Savage. Let's see if we can get it up here. I've dialed it with all this other stuff up here. Well, yeah, it's HPI Savage XL. I'll take it's got the HPI F-150 Ranger body that was available for a short time. A lot of people want this body, but sorry, no. I like it. The roof needs some, the guy I bought it from, just put some tape on it. This is just a little preview. It has aluminum A-arms all the way around, upper and lower, aluminum shock bodies with threaded bodies and collars instead of plastic, and it's dual all the way around. It's got the K5.9. I've already taken it apart. Everything looks great. Still amazing compression. The guy who had it before me was he didn't run it a lot. I have a new fuel tank that I'm going to be putting on today. It's a brand new fuel tank. Let me see if I can get to the bag. With that truck, I wasn't even expecting this, but an entire bag up full of parts. Here's the pipe that was on it. Extra mounts. A lot of stuff. I actually need to keep one of these out. I'll turn it around in a second, show more. It's got an Integy transmission cover plate, transmission protector, Integy gas tank protector, a Robinson Racing Products. I don't know how many teeth, but it's slipper clutch. It has aluminum racing clutch shoes, three clutch shoes. They're actually tunable because they have those grub screws that you can take out. So if you wanted to kick in at a higher RPM, you can take those grub screws out. 3-speed, of course. And like I said, it has a lot of upgrades. It was missing some screws, but I have an entire box full of different screws. They're all, and I also even have the, I need to get the correct outdrive from the transmission, but I even have the upgraded disc brakes, but I've been told that they really don't do a lot, so they're probably just going to stay off. But getting back to the parts, here's the tank that's going on, so I'm just going to leave that out, because after this video I'm going to put that on. A lot of extra, got an extra diff, pinion, and ring gear. Shock perches. Spring perches for shocks, exhaust, header gaskets. The whole nine. Softer springs. an entire extra big block setup, a complete extra. I believe this is a aftermarket because this is purple, and the stock one is not purple. It's the motor mount plate that goes in between the TVPs, the twin vertical plates. Two 1600 milliamp hour nickel metal hydride. I have a Navarone pipe. Oh yeah, let me turn it around so you can see the other side. It did not come with this pipe on it. He said that it had a tuned pipe, and I was thinking, this is a tuned pipe? No. This is the tuned pipe. HPI Racing tuned pipe and header, I believe. K5.9. I've already been told by many people to watch the rod. People that know me know that I am a collector. I'm more of a collector than anything. I love working on them, but over more than anything else, I like to collect. And I have been wanting one of these ever since when I initially saw my very first. I was actually going to get this. I was hoping they had a flux, but they didn't, so I got the RS4 Sport 3 Drift. It was brushed, so I got a Mama Max Pro 30.